So what we're going to talk about today is we're going to be talking about the 5 steps of the game of money.
那我们今天呢要谈到的就是说，那金钱的游戏的5个步骤。
And this is very crucial for you to become financially independent.
这只是你要通往财富自由的路上非常重要的5个步骤。
Now, over the last 40 years, my dad started teaching me about financial topics when I was very young.
当我很年轻的时候，在过去40年当中呢，我的父亲不断的持续的教我有关于金钱的概念。
It's actually been 44 years.
大概其实是有44年了。
And my father's passed away.
那我的父亲呢已经过世了。
But the things that he taught me are still alive, and I'm helping you today with some of the things that he taught me.
那他教给我所有的东西呢，都是在这个世上长存，而且我今天呢还要跟大家分享。
There's 3 major times in your life.
有3种主要的生活形态。
The first step is to learn.
第一个是说你要学习。
The second step is to earn.
第2种方式呢，就是你必须要赚钱。
And number 3 is to return.
第3种呢是你要回馈社会。
Now, lifelong learners do all 3 all the time.
这3种生活形式不断的上演。
Warren Buffett continues to read every day for hours and hours.
华伦巴菲特不管在每一分每一秒呢，他都不断的重复这3个步骤。
So he's continually learning.
那他第一个呢，他一直学习。
He's continually earning money.
而且他还是持续的赚钱。
And he's continually returning money to people who have invested with him and his information and knowledge.
同时呢，他也不断的一直持续的回馈他的股东，以及他用他的知识跟一些他可以展示的讯息来回馈社会。
So your goal is to be able to do all 3 of those things all the time, all your life.
那我们大家的目标呢，就是像股神巴菲特一样，不断的重复这些步骤。
Now, I've taught you that there's 5 steps to the game of money.
那我们谈到的金钱游戏的5个步骤。
Step number 1 is to make money.
第一个步骤呢是赚钱。
Step number 2 is to sort your money.
这个步骤是分类你的所得。
And step number 3 is to give to church and charity.
第3个步骤你是必须要做慈善事业。
Number 4 is to save and invest.
第4个步骤呢是你要存起来或者是投资。
And number 5 is to spend the rest.
第5个步骤是花掉其他的钱。
Now, in my study of very wealthy people, they do these 5 steps.
那在我的研究当中，很致富的人，他通常都会做这5个步骤。
The key is to make complex situations very simple.
最重要的关键呢，就是把复杂的事情简单化。
It has to be so simple that you can teach a 10 to 14-year-old person this concept.
要简化到你可以再教其他的人。
Now, most people think that to be very wealthy, you need to be very complicated.
很多人认为是很有钱的人，他必须是非常复杂的人。
Just the opposite is true.
事实上呢，事实是相反的。
We need a very simple system that we can multiply many, many times over.
事实呢，其实是你需要很简化的系统，不断的复制它，然后成为很有钱的人。
So I want you to really remember these 5 steps.
请记好这5个步骤。
Now, right now, most people have a job where they make money.
大部分的现在人，每个人都有个工作。
The next step is to sort your money and assign it where you want it to go.
然后第2个步骤呢，就是说你要分类你的所得，然后呢，确定他们哪一部分的钱要往哪里去。
Number 3 is you need to give some of it away to your church and charity.
第3个步骤，你必须要捐款回馈一些社会， 不管你选的慈善事业是什么。
And you need to give some of your time away to church and charity as well.
有时候你必须要付出一些可能是劳力呢，在教堂啊，或是一些慈善机构。
Now, step number 4 is you need to save and invest.
第4步骤呢，你必须存钱，而且你要把投资。
Now, it's save and invest, not just save.
是存款，而且投资，并不是只有存钱。
And the last step is to spend the rest.
最后一个步骤很简单，就是花掉其他的钱。
But the more money that you can save and invest, the more you will have later.
如果你可以存下来，而且投资的钱越多呢，你往后的日子就过得越好。
So I want you to think of the system that we're talking about.
那请大家仔细想一下这个系统。
And I'm going to draw a small picture here for you. I'm actually here in Omaha, Nebraska.
那我现在是在阿拉斯加。
And we're here at the University of Nebraska at Omaha.
那我们现在在阿拉斯加的那个大学。
And this is the famous home of Warren Buffett.
这个是华伦巴菲特的家乡。
Now, next door, literally through this wall, a class is being taught by a famous author.
那就从我这个黑板呢，透过这个黑板的这面墙呢，旁边的这个教室呢，是华伦巴菲特在教授课程的地方。
And I've traveled all the way from where I live to Omaha just to attend his class.
那我从我的家呢，飞到这么远的地方来，就是为了要参加华伦巴菲特的课程。
And this class is very expensive.
而且这个课程非常的昂贵。
But I know that if I invest in myself, that I will make more money with his strategies and techniques.
但是我知道，如果投资在自己身上越多呢，我就可以从华伦巴菲特身上学到更多的技巧跟策略。
Just this class alone and the class right behind it, it's going to cost me equivalent to probably around 10,000 US.
那这个课程大概要花我1万块美金。
But it also allows me to go to the convention that Berkshire Hathaway will be holding on Saturday.
但是这个课程的费用呢，也让我可以去参加华伦巴菲特的股东大会。
Now, you have the ability to watch the convention live on the internet next Saturday.
下个礼拜6的时候呢，你可以在这个网络上面看到他即时的这个现场播出的股东大会。
And this is the second richest man in the world.
他是全世界第2富有的人。
And you can actually invest in his stock.
事实上呢，你也可以投资在他的公司。
And this has taken me 50 years to finally figure out some important things that he's going to teach you.
这个他花了15年才搞清楚他如何来教授。
So your assignment is for all of you to be able to log on to Yahoo.
所以大家今天的功课呢，就是大家能够在注册在Yahoo 上。
And to watch the live teleclass of the Berkshire Hathaway stockholders meeting.
那在这个雅虎注册之后呢，可以在线上同时观看 Berkshire Hathaway 的这个股东大会。
So I'm going to see if we can find the link right now.
那现在我帮大家找个连结看看。
Live Yahoo stream right there. Live stream 2017. And I'm going to drop that right into your box so all of you can have it. Give me a second. It's at 10.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Warren Buffett. This is Charlie Munger. We have had to move the venue about 6 times. We had well over 40,000 last year. I get to do what I love. I am a very, very, very happy guy. I think if you were happy every day, you're going to live longer as well. I like fudge a lot, peanut brittle. I happen to like to consume about 700 calories a day from Coca-Cola. So I'm about 1/4 Coca-Cola, roughly.
One of the traditions this week in Omaha is the 4th annual newspaper toss. Buffett says he can make it closest to the door from 35 feet back. Beat him, and he'll buy you a Dairy Queen ice cream.
Just buy an S&P index fund and sit for the next 50 years. Let American industry do its job for you.
So I'm going to copy that link for you and
I
drop
want to
it.
ask you guys about some specific stocks if I can, because
Second here.
there was the big high-profile Apple acquisition, and people are curious about who made that call.
Give me 1 second, guys. Let me see if I can drop this into your. But this is the address of the right here. Sasha, can you still hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Actually, if you just simply go to Yahoo Finance,
大家可以看到最上面有一个网址，我去 Yahoo Finance 这个网址，最上方这个网址。
let's see if I can just type it into my presentation. This is very important that you go watch this. This is fabulous.
大家看看这个网站是非常重要的，真的很棒。
So that's it right there. But if you simply go to Berkshire Hathaway, BERKSHIRE, Hathaway.
大家如果在这个网络上打上这个 Berkshire Hathaway 这个公司呢，你就可以看到股东大会2017。
You should be able to get to it.
大家可以把它写下来或抄下来。
So that's really kind of, if you just go to berkshirefinance.yahoo.com, that should take you there.
如果你可以在这个网络上这个 HTTP 这个网址呢，你从这个地方你就可以直接看到 Berkshire Hathaway 这个华伦巴菲特的公司的股东2017年的股东大会。
Good. Now, I'm going to ask how many people actually went to that class, because I think it's very important that you go.
好，我们看有多少人真正呢去看过。
Okay, so let's continue on with our class. So next Tuesday, I'm going to be reporting on what I learned at the conference itself.
下个礼拜二呢，我会告诉大家，在课堂上告诉大家我在这个股东大会上学了些什么东西。
So today, I'm actually at a class that Robert Miles is conducting.
那事实上呢，我今天要介绍一本书，就是这个 Robert Miles 的这本书。
And he's a famous author that has chronicled Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway for many years.
那他呢，在这个华伦巴菲特公司很多年了。
And he's written many books about Warren. This is one of my most favorite books right here.
那这个是我最喜欢的书。那他这个作者呢，也非常了解这个公司。
And it's called 101 Reasons
这是101个理由。
to own the world's greatest investment.
那为什么要有101个？为什么要投在这家公司的理由？
And the author is Robert Miles, M-I-L-E-S.
那这个作者呢叫 Robert Miles， 他的姓氏是 M-I-E-L-S。
And he's been chronicling Warren Buffett's career for many years.
那他在华伦巴菲特这个公司呢工作很多年了。
And this is a must read.
而且你一定要看这本书。
Now, in this book, I bought many books for friends and associates and my accountant.
那我买了这本书呢，送给我的会计师，还有我的很多朋友。
And you never know when you're going to find a true treasure, but I'm going to tell you about this one.
那你都从来都不知道你在这本书会找到什么宝藏。
So I like to buy products off of Amazon.com.
那其实我喜欢在亚马逊上购物，
It's just easier for me to be able to find stuff that way. And so
因为
I bought many of his books that way.
因为我觉得在亚马逊上面购物很轻松，所以我就在上面买了很多这本书。
And of course, because I buy extras, I found one that was used that was just a little bit cheaper.
有时候呢，我会买二手书比较便宜。
Now, this book has a price tag of $2 on it because it was used.
那你可以看到这个上面有一个$2，因为它这是二手书。
And this is a book of thrift store called Deseret Industries.
那它是 Deseret Industries 出的书。
And this is a thrift store like a Goodwill store or a Salvation Army store, secondhand.
它是个二手的很好的一个书店。
And most likely it was in Utah because that's very big in Utah.
这个书店呢，在犹他州很大。
This book was sent to someone in Kentucky who then would resell them.
那他这本书呢，做好就是印好了之后，他会送到肯德基去书。
And then they make their money just off the shipping.
然后呢，他们会从运费赚到一些钱。
But to my delight and surprise, as I opened it up, is a signature from Warren Buffett.
但是我最大的惊讶呢，买到这本书是我一打开这个封面呢，就看到华伦巴菲特的亲笔签名。
So many years ago, Mr. Buffett had signed this book. This book came out in around 2000.
那多年前的华伦巴菲特亲笔签名的这本书要卖$2000。
Maybe someone passed away and they donated it to the thrift store.
也许有人过世了，然后把这本书就卖给二手书店。
They didn't realize what was inside.
他们根本就不知道这里面有什么宝藏。
And this signature is worth about $2,500.
而且这一个亲笔签名呢，价值很多钱。
Which is about 75,000 Taiwan dollars.
那这个大概是这个亲笔签名价值75000块台币。
And then I got the author to actually sign it as well today,
那我
yesterday.
也在这边呢，里面也有作者的亲自签名。
Now, this is on your reading assignment to be able to read this book.
那这也是我们今天的功课之一。
Now, last week I asked you, what are you going to do with the excess money you make from your small businesses?
那上个礼拜我问到大家说，如果你从你的小生意里面赚到一些额外的钱，你要做什么？
And the biggest response was to invest it.
那大部分人的回答都是我要去投资。
So my goal is to be able to teach you that investing over the next couple of weeks.
那所以在往后的2周，我都会教大家怎么投资。
Okay. So now, Sasha, I'm going to tell me if you can see this. Okay, I'm going to. Okay, good. You can see the screen okay up here? Is it too small?
I can. It's a bit
Now,
small.
Now, folks, you can actually make my picture bigger or smaller on your screen.
那大家可以看到，在这个 Tom Painter 这个老师这边呢，你可以看到这个可以在他的这个荧幕上有一个可以剪辑大或变大或变小的这个，你可以把它的荧幕变大，因为它要写黑板。
Okay, great. So they can actually make it bigger or smaller if they wish.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Right now, you can still see the PowerPoint, though, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. All right, so let's just stick with that for a second. We're going to go to step number 4, which is save and invest.
那我们直接呢就来跳到第4步骤，我们来讲这个有关于存款以及投资的部分。
Now, save and invest, there's 2 pieces. There's saving money, but more importantly, there's investing money.
那这个存款这个步骤呢，其实分2个部分，一个是存款，一个是投资。
Now, when you invest, we have to be very careful of what you do with your money.
在你投资的时候，你要非常小心，你把你这个钱投资到哪去。
Typically, most people they hear about an investment from a friend or associate and they jump right in.
因为大部分人有一些人呢，他可能听到朋友跟一些他的同事啊说的很好嘛，他就直接把钱投资过去。
And they don't do any research.
他们在这个投资之前并没有做一些功课或调
And
查，
it's a hot tip.
这个是真的很困难的事。
That's investing like going to Vegas
那这就好像你去到 Vegas 投资
or
一样，
Macau.
或者是去到澳门投资一样，
You're gambling.
这像一种赌博。
Now, there's nothing wrong with some speculation,
其实如果说你是投机客，并没有错误。
but let's talk about the difference between a speculator and an investor.
但是我们来谈谈看，什么叫投机客，什么叫投资者？
A speculator hears a hot tip and they invest a lot of money in that hot tip.
那他们呢？他们就很多很困难的项目呢，他们就是只是专注的把钱丢进去。
An investor goes the opposite direction. An investor really searches out the market and finds the best use for their money.
投资者呢是正好是相反的，他不但是研究了这个市场了之后呢，还小心把钱放进去。
So if you're the key is to be able to take a small percentage of your investable dollars
所以最重要的关键就是你将你的投资的金额拿出一小部分，
and take those dollars and take maybe 10% of them, and you're welcome to speculate with that 10%.
然后呢，这当中呢，也许是这笔钱里面的10%，你可以拿去做一些比较有风险的投资。
But let's take the other 90% and let's put it into some long-term investments.
然后你把90%的人放在比较有可能有回报性的投资上。
Where people get it wrong is that they invest 100% of their money in speculative things.
很多人犯的错误就是他把100%呢的钱都直接投资出去，
They're looking for a quick buck as an investor,
而且他们希望呢很快就有回报，
and they lose their money.
然后就失去金钱了。
And as a result, they get out of the market and they don't invest afterwards.
然后呢之后呢，他们就学到教训，就离开了这个市场，再也不投资。
So the key is to be able to allocate your money in a way that you can get a good investment.
所以一个最重要的事情就是你必须要好好的分配你这个投资的金钱。
So I'm a big fan of Warren Buffett's.
其实呢，我是华伦巴菲特的大粉丝。
He is the perfect role model for many of you to learn from.
其实他是一个很好的偶像，大家可以学习的偶像。
And over the next few classes, we're going to get very deep into the science of investing.
然后在往后的几堂课，我们会专门的来讲他的投资策略。
And so, as you're investing, you have many different options.
当你投资的时候，你有很多种选择。
You have the option of being able to buy individual stocks.
你可以买单独的这个商品，
You can buy Apple or Amazon or eBay.
你可以买不同的公司，比如说苹果公司、eBay 或是亚马逊、
Facebook,
或脸
Twitter.
书，或是 Twitter。
Now, the key is to be able to take all of the assets that you're investing
关键就是你这个投资的这个资产，
and take a percentage of those and invest in individual companies.
就是在你投资的总金额当中拿出一小部分投资在个别的公司上，
It's called asset allocation.
这叫做分配你的资产。
And where people get into trouble is when they put all of their eggs into one investment.
所以有一些人呢，他在投资上遇到的麻烦就是说，他把所有的鸡蛋都放在同一个篮子里。
So our goal is to be able to take a percentage of your assets, and if you have some individual stocks you want to buy, go ahead and buy them.
所以我们的目标呢，就是要在你的投资金额当中拿出一小部分来，你可以去买单独的公司，分散风险。
But for the majority of the money, you need to put it into what we call an index fund or a mutual fund.
那把大部分的钱，你可能放在一些就是基金或者债券上面。
Now, when we talk about investing, I own a lot of real estate.
当我们谈到有关于投资的项目的时候，其实我有很多的房地产。
And as we make money from our real estate, our rents, then of course we have expenses with it as well.
当我们从房地产赚的租金呢，当然你有些花费。
Any of the extra profit we make, we actually go out and buy another piece of real estate.
当你在这个先扣除这些花费之后，你还有一些获利的话，你就把它直接再投资到另外一个房地产。
So if you take a big picture of your total net worth,
如果说你来看一个全方位的来看你的资产，
some of it will be in real estate.
有一些呢你投资在房地产，
Some of it will be in stock.
有一些呢你投资在股票市场，
Some of it will be with your small businesses.
有一些可能在你的小生意上。
And so that's what we call asset allocation, when you take all of your net worth.
所以呢，当你纵观来看，你就可以，这叫我们来分配你的资产。
So as you make money from RAC,
当你从 IRAC 赚到一些事业赚到钱的时候，
about 80% of you said that you wanted to invest that money.
因为有80%的人选择说你愿意投资这个金额。
Well, if you're going to put part of it in the stock market, that's the stuff I'm going to teach you today.
如果你可以从你的现金流里面放一部分到这个股票市场的话，我今天可以来教你这个部分。
So a mutual fund is a group of stocks.
像这个基金呢是一个股票跟一些综合体。
And there could be a big group of stocks, anywhere from 100 to 500 to more stocks that are bundled together in a group.
那这个基金呢，它有可能是说100个公司或到500个公司的一种综合的选项。
For example, you've heard of the Dow Jones Industrial Average.
比如说，大家都听过道琼工业指数。
In America, the Dow is 30 of the largest companies.
在美国呢，道琼工业指数指的是30间最大的公司。
There's a computer company.
那有电脑公司，
A software company.
有一些软体公司，
A grocery store company.
那还有一些是说卖这个杂货，
An oil company.
还有一些石油公司，
And it's 30 industries.
在30间最大的公司。
And you can own a little bit of all 30 of those.
那你投资的话，你就可以，每一家公司都有一小部分。
So when you invest your money in that index fund or that mutual fund, you own a little bit of all those companies.
所以当你把你的金钱呢投资在这种指数的基金上面的时候，你就每一个公司你就当个很小的股东。
The next is an index fund or called the S&P 500.
另外一个就是标准普尔500指数。
Now the S&P 500 is 500 of the largest companies in America.
那标准普尔的500大呢，是在美国的500大最大的500间公司。
As a result, they are also worldwide investors.
那因为他们呢，也会在全世界投资。
So when you invest in the S&P 500, you own a little bit of all 500 companies.
当你投资在这个标准普尔500这个指数基金里面的时候，你在这500个公司里面都是很小的股东。
And you've heard the word large cap or large capitalization.
那大家都有听过有资本主义的部分。
That just means the biggest companies.
这就是表示说最大的公司。
So many people invest in the S&P 500 because it is diversified with 500 large companies.
很多人喜欢投资在这个标准普尔里面，是因为他们觉得他们可以拥有这些大公司的一些股权。
There's other big funds like the Wilshire 5000.
还有听过这个 Berkshire 5000，就5000的这个
And that's
厂商。
5,000 of the largest companies.
这里是5000间最大的公司的基
Now,
金。
many of them are much smaller than what are in the S&P 500.
那他们呢都不是比较跟标准普尔500大比起来，他们是比较小间的公司。
And when you invest in the 5,000, you own a little bit of all 500 companies.
当你投资在这个5000工业指数的基金里面，那你就是在成为这5000公司里每一个都拥有一点小小的股份，
So you actually have a couple choices.
所以你有几种选项。
You can invest in an individual stock.
所以你可以挑选单独的股票来投资，
You can invest in a group of 30.
或者你可以投资在道琼工业30工业指数的
You can
基金。
invest in a group of 1,000 or 5,000.
那你可以选择的1000啊或5000的这个基金来投资。
And as they make a profit and go up in value, you also share in that. And
当这些公司赚钱的时候，你就会分到一些股利。
now, the positive is that an individual stock can go up and down in value quite easily.
事实上呢，就是个别的公司的股票呢，它可能是震荡很大的。
It all depends on how many buyers you have and how many sellers.
它完全是依赖，就是看你有多少的买主跟卖主。
If you have a lot of people buying the stock, then the price is going to go up.
如果有很多人想要买这只股票的时候呢，它的价格就会上扬。
If nobody's trying to buy the stock is going to go down.
如果没有人要买这只个别公司的股票的话，价格就
It's
直
all
接下降。
It's all supply and demand.
好，这就是这个供需的问题。
So the key is to be able to own a little bit of a lot of companies.
所以呢，关键就是我们希望能够大家可以分散这个风险，在每个公司都有一点小股权。
That's what the S&P 500 is.
这就是我们说的标准普尔指数500大。
Now, over time, the S&P 500 has become the benchmark that mutual funds are based against.
经过了好长一段时间，标准普尔指数终于成为一种在投资标的的一种标准。
There are professional money managers
他们是一个很专业的一个资金经理人，
that will pick the stocks for you.
他们会自己帮你挑选很棒的股票。
And that's called a mutual fund.
那这是一些这个基金。
So a professional will say, I want some of this stock, some of this, some of this, some of this, some of this, and they will create their own group of stocks that you can own part of.
那这些基金经理人经过他们优秀的眼光来挑选不同的公司之后，把它组成一个基金，成为一个商品。
And they will charge you a fee to do that.
那他们会收你手续费或管理费。
Now, the interesting thing is that most of the professional managers do not do better than just buying the S&P 500.
但是最主要就是说，专业的经理人呢，基金经理人他们会比单独自己去买会更好。
So these professionals that pick stocks for you do not do any better than just buying the S&P 500.
即使这些专业基金帮你选好的股票呢，可能也没有这个500大的标准普尔的产
Now
品更好。
that's very important you understand that concept.
那这个观念很重要。
So most professionally managed funds do not do as well as just buying the S&P 500.
其实大部分的很专业基金经理人的表现呢，并不如标准普500大出色。
And all these mutual funds base their how well they do against the S&P 500.
所以通常他们两方都会来较劲。
So your goal is to either just invest in the S&P 500 and forget it,
那你的目标就是你可以直接投资在标准普尔指数的基金上，
or if you think that some of these mutual fund experts can outdo it, invest some of your money with them, but the majority of your money with the S&P.
或者你认为你可以分配把一些很小部分的基金交给专业基金经理人来投资，大部分呢剩下的你就投资在这个标准普尔。
Now I'm going to tell you what I do as an investor.
那我可以告诉大家我怎么做，
I'm not telling you what you should do,
我不会告诉大家说你应该要做些什么，
but I have different entities that create my wealth.
但是我有很多不同的东西来制造我的财富。
RAC is one of those areas.
有一个是艾瑞西实业，
Real estate is an area.
还有房地产，
My businesses are an area.
还有自己的公司。
So I have all these money trees that make money.
那我有不同的金钱树来致富。
They make it, they sort it, we give some away to charity,
然后呢，我赚的钱呢，我分类之后把一些捐出去，
and then we take a portion, we take the save and invest and reinvest it.
然后呢拿出当中的一些获利来，就是投资，然后再把它投资回去房地产或是。
My dad taught me when I was 14 years of age
当我14岁的时候，我父亲教我，
that some people make so much money off of their small businesses, real estate, and investments
有很多人他在不同的领域赚到很多钱，
that they don't have a job.
他们是如此的富有，所以他们从来都不需要工作。
So when I was 14, I set out to have that as my goal.
那在我那14岁的心灵，我就希望我可以做到这样子。
Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about Warren Buffett.
那我想要跟大家多谈一点关于华伦巴菲特的事情。
This is the perfect role model for you to learn from.
他真的是一个非常值得大家来学习的对象。
Now, he has a company called Berkshire Hathaway,
他有一个公司叫 Berkshire Hathaway，
and Mr. Buffett is 86 years of age.
他今年86岁，
And so his company has been around for many years,
所以他的公司已经很多年了。
and it's a publicly traded company.
那他基本上呢，他是一个这个股票的公司。
That means that you can buy Berkshire Hathaway stock, and when you do, you own a lot of a lot of companies.
意思就是说，你也可以投资在Berkshire Hathaway 这家公司。当你投资的时候呢，你也会同时拥有一大堆公司的小股权。
For example, some of his biggest holdings
那有些公司是他很好的这个控股公司，
are insurance companies.
比如说一些保险公司，
They own a railroad.
那他们还有一些铁道公司，
They own a big portion of Coca-Cola.
那他们是可口可乐的大股东。
So Berkshire Hathaway acts like a mutual fund because it owns so many companies.
那这家公司呢，就像一个基金公司一样，他们有好多公司的股权。
So it'll either own the company outright or it'll buy its stock.
他们可以有一些他们控股的权利，或者说直接买他的股票。
It owns a big chunk of Apple.
那他们也是苹果大股东，
It owns chunks of airlines.
还有航空公司的大股东，
IBM.
还有 IBM 的公司。
And so as it makes a profit, it reinvests that money and buys more stocks.
当华伦巴菲特的公司赚钱的时候，他再重新投资在另外的地方。
And as a result, if you were to buy Berkshire Hathaway, you can own a lot of companies for with a small investment.
因此呢，如果你用很少的一部分的钱投资在这个 Berkshire Hathaway 这家公司，你就同时拥有可以成为很多公司的小股东。
And the real key is, does it do better than the S&P 500?
最重要的是说，它有没有比标准普尔500这个基金表现得更好呢？
And over the past 50 years, it has done better than the S&P 500 the majority of the time.
在过去的50年呢，这家公司大部分的表现都比标准普尔更好。
And some years it has done as well as 20%.
有时候呢，有的些年呢，它是20%的回报率。
So I'm going to tell you what I do is I put a large portion of our investments into Berkshire Hathaway.
那我要告诉你，就是我做的事情呢，就是我放了大部分的投资的金钱呢，在这华伦巴菲特公司。
So the key is to see how well it's done versus the S&P 500.
那最主要就是我们来看我们这个公司做的有多好。
In 1990, you could have bought one share of Berkshire Hathaway's Class A stock for $6,675 US.
那我们看到这个表格最上方，1990年呢，你可以再用6675块呢买到这个公司的 A 股。
1 year later, it was worth $9,000 US.
1年之后呢，股价呢就变成9050。
Which meant that it increased in value by around 30%.
所以它上涨36%。
The next year, it went up to 11,000, and
在下一年就变价值11750。
And it had about a 30% increase.
这当中有30%的成长。
Now, some years it has gone down in value.
那有时候呢会下降，股价
This
下
year
降。
it had a 2% loss.
2002年呢，它就贬值了2%。
And in this year it had a 20% loss.
那所以在这个部分呢，它就有20%的损失，在1999年的时候。
But overall, it has had a very phenomenal run.
但是基本上它表现得非常出色。
And the reason I believe it's done so well
那我之所以相信它的原因，是因为它表现很好，
is because it has businesses that make money.
而且他们有很多很棒的公司在赚钱。
And as they make money, then he takes that profit and reinvests it.
当他们赚了钱之后，他们把这个获利拿出来，再重新投资一样的地区。
For example, they own a big portion of Coca-Cola.
比方说呢，他们是可口可乐大股东。
There are 1 billion servings of Coca-Cola served every day.
那他们也每一天都卖出1亿瓶的可口可乐。
They own a big portion of Apple.
那他们也是苹果公司的大股东。
And Apple sells more phones and charges people money every month to use an Apple.
那苹果公司呢，卖出很多的苹果的产品，而且他们每一个月呢，都可以赚到很多的钱。
Now, the other side is the S&P 500.
那你看到右边呢，这个是标准普尔500指数。
So, in 1990,
它在1990年，
you could have bought the group of 500 stocks because they for $320.
那你可以买到这500间的公司的这个小 小股份呢，用320块的股价来买。
The next year, that group of 500 went up to $417 in value.
隔了一年呢，它就成为417块，
So it went up $97.
涨了97元，
or 30%.
那是30% 成长。
The difference was that Berkshire Hathaway had a 5% better year than the S&P 500.
那关键是华伦顿巴菲特公司呢表现呢比标准普尔还好。
The next year, the group of 500 went up to 435.
那在隔一年1992年呢，就变成在标准普尔变成435元一股，
And it had a 4% return.
它有4%的回报率，
It went up 4% in value.
然后它涨4%。
But that year, Berkshire had a 30% return.
在当年呢 ，Berkshire Hathaway 它有30%成长。
So you can see the goal is to outdo the S&P 500.
所以大家可以看到这个关键就是说跟标准普尔来比，
Only about 20% of the professionally managed funds
大概只有20%的专业基金
outdo just owning the S&P 500.
会比单独拥有标准普尔500出色。
And of that, over a long period of time, there's only a few companies that consistently outperform the S&P 500.
长期下来，大家只有非常少数的公司能够表现得比标准普尔还好。
Now, you can take a look at any one year, and you can see how well it has done against the S&P 500.
你可以随便点取任何一年 Berkshire Hathaway 所的表现来跟标准普尔500做比较。
But the real key is how's it done over a 5-year period?
关键就是你可以比5年的时间。
So if you take the stock price in 1990 of $6,600,
比如说1990年呢，华伦顿巴菲特公司是6675元一个股价，
5 years later, it was trading for $32,000.
但5年过后呢，它变成32100了。
That means that it went up in value 381%.
那就是说它的股价呢上涨了381%。
And if you divide that by 5 years, on average, it went up 76%.
如果把这个除以5年呢，就是每一年呢你是上涨76%。
Now, when Berkshire Hathaway was smaller, it could have bigger gains.
当Berkshire Hathaway 如果说比较小的时候，你可以投资比较多。
The bigger it gets, the harder it is to get a big return.
当然它的投资金额很大的时候，你的回报率就会比较低一点。
But if we look at the S&P 500 in 1990, it was trading for $320 a share.
那我们看到那个标准普尔在1990年是320元。
And if you look at it now, 5 years later, back to 1995, it had a 92% growth.
那你可以看到，在5年过后呢，它是有92%的成长。
But Berkshire Hathaway's growth was much greater.
但是你可以看到这个 Berkshire Hathaway 它的成长率好多了。
So it's important that you look at this over a longer period of time.
所以很重要说你要长期来观察它。
For example, in 2016,
比如说在2016年的时候，
we're going to look 5 years back to 2011.
那我们再往回找5年，直到2011年。
In 2011, you could have bought the stock for the group of stocks for 114,000.
2011年的股价呢是114750元。
5 years later, that same stock was 244,000.
5年过后呢，变成245000左右。
So it basically doubled in value, 113% return.
基本上你赚了几乎翻倍，113%。
And if you were to break that up into an average over 5 years,
如果再除以5年的话，
it had a 23% return per year.
所以基本上你每一年的投报率是23%。
Now you compare that with the S&P 500.
那你跟这个标准普尔500来比较，
In 2011, it was 1,257.
在2011年标准普尔的表现是1257元，
And in 2012, it was 2,200.
2016年是2238，
So it improved by 78% in that same 5-year period.
在5年当中呢，它上涨78%。
So we have to compare the 113 to 78.
那我们可以看看78%跟113%的不同。
So for that 5-year period, it outperformed the S&P 500 by 35%.
所以你可以看到在这5年期间呢 ，Berkshire Hathaway 的表现的超过了标准普尔30%。
Okay, so we can do the same thing over a 10-year period.
我们也可以比较10年。
So we're going to go to 2016.
所以我们可以在2016看一看。
And you can see that it was trading at 109,000 in 2016 or 2006.
那在2006年呢是109990，
And now it's trading for 244.
那2016年是24万，
And that's 10 years later.
这是10年后。
So for that 10-year period, it doubled in value.
那在这10年当中呢，它只是涨了1大倍。
But if we take 10 years and we chop it up into 10 individual years, it improved by 12% a year.
把122%呢除以10年，就是每一年的投报率有12%。
If we compare that to the S&P 500,
如果我们跟标准普尔500来比较，
that S&P was trading for $1,418 when you take all 500 companies together.
当2006年呢500是11418，
And you can see that 10 years later, it had increased by 58%.
那大家可以看到，这个标准普尔在10年过后的表现是涨了58%。
So when you take the 10-year average, it is outperformed by 64%.
那如果两者相较的话，你可以看到 Berkshire Hathaway 的比标准普尔好，表现出色了64%。
Now the question is, can they continue to do that?
那问题是，他们可以持续这样子表现下去。
Mr. Buffett is a genius. He's 86 years of age.
华伦巴菲特呢，虽然86岁，但他真是个天才。
But what I've learned is that Walt Disney built Walt Disney Productions in Disneyland.
我学到的是说，迪士尼乐园呢，迪士尼公司他做了迪士尼乐园。
More importantly, he built a business that built Disneyland.
那最重要的是，他还做了其他的事业，而不
He
是
built a company that built and created all the movies.
那他还有其他的，还有一个很重要的公司，还制造了电影公司。
Walt Disney was not a good animator.
这个华特迪士尼他不是个很好的一个动画家，
He was fair at best.
因为他有点害怕。
But he and his brother Roy created a great company. Who created great products?
但是呢，他做了一个很棒的公司，制造了很棒的产品。
Steve Jobs did not create the iPhone.
贾伯斯他并没有自己制造 iPhone，
Steve Jobs created a company that created the iPhone.
贾伯斯呢，他是制造了一个很棒的公司来制造 iPhone。
That's why when both of those founders passed away,
当这些创办人过世的时候，
the company continued to strive and to thrive.
那公司呢就会持续的在成长。
After Steve Jobs passed away, the company continued to thrive for many years.
当贾伯斯过世后呢，那个苹果公司呢继续表现出色。
Warren Buffett built a company.
那华伦巴菲特也是建立了一个公司。
They have hundreds of companies that they own.
他们有这家控股公司呢，有很多公司的小股东。
Warren doesn't manage any of the individual companies.
华伦巴菲特他并不会个别的去处理每家公司的业务，
He just helps decide where to place the investments.
他只是决定说要将投资的金额放在哪家公司。
So he's built an incredible company that will survive after he's gone.
所以呢，他成立一个很棒的公司，即使他走了，这个公司还是会继续的持续茁壮。
So in closing, I want you to know how important it is that you learn about investing.
所以今天很重要，就是我要知道大家能够学到这个投资的项目。
And just important, I want you to be able to teach other people about investing.
那很重要的是说，你必须要也能够教别人怎么样来做投资。
So as you have extra revenue, we want to place it where it will grow in value.
当你有一些资金的时候，你希望能够投资在一个地方，让它继续的成长。
So this next couple of weeks, I'm going to spend a lot more time in investing.
在往后的几周呢，我都会特别专注在投资这个部分。
So your goal is next week, I want to make sure all of you, on Saturday, you watch the Berkshire Hathaway Convention.
所以呢，我希望就是大家能够在周六的时候都看这个 Berkshire Hathaway 这个股东大会。
And I will be sending I'll have pictures for us next week during class.
然后呢，我会拍一些照给大家看。
So all of you should be attending Robert Allen's class tomorrow.
大家明天呢要来参加 Robert 的课程。
And I will be saying goodbye because I will be here in Omaha.
那今天我会待在这里，那我现在要跟大家说再见。
Okay, everyone have a great day and we'll see you next week.
好，一天愉快。那我们下周见。
All right, bye-bye, everyone.
再见。
Thank you again, Sasha. You're awesome.
Thank you, Tom. Okay.
We'll see you later now. Bye-bye.
Bye. 谢谢大家。